Do you know what? I read that as balls. Do you know what? It is too early in the episode to be talking about balls, you're right. Unless it's basketballs. Basketballs are never censored.
And I have needs.
No.
Angel needs to start charging. He just hates bringing up the finances with the clients.
Oh, he needs to crack down on that, man.
Walking off into the dark, his long coat flowing behind him in that mysterious and attractive way.
I think you might be in love.
No, I'm not saying I'm attracted. I'm just saying that, he projects a certain kind of image and asking for money isn't part of it.
You are slightly in love, though. That's okay. You're allowed.
We're gonna stand up to him just as soon as he's had his coffee.
Cafe! Yes, Cordelia. This is why I like you, mate. Absolutely. Top rule is that, mate.
What is this?
Last week's coffee. Think of it as
What?
I think my esophagus is melting.
I thought you didn't drink coffee. And yeah, I was paying attention in Buffy. Honestly, it was a harder blow than it should have been.
I'm not comfortable asking people for money.
Then get over it!
Do you know what? I do respect that anti-capitalist viewpoint that you have, mate. However, we all need to pay rent.
You think it's right to ask people in trouble for money?
You're in trouble.
Make up your mind, will you? Doyle?
Oh, Vision Quest! God, man. You liked that, didn't you?
Maybe I'm a little attracted.
Yeah. Hey, nothing to be ashamed of, mate. Yeah, it was a gentle outro. You're welcome.
It's okay, I'll fix it.
Are you double dipping that finger, buddy? You need to relax.
What's going on?
Lip.
You've only been here a month and already you know 4 of the letters of my name.
It's quite a lot, though.
And I brought this for you. I painted the pot myself, so feel free to break it by accident.
That is very nice of you.
Oh, no way. I don't know anybody would taste that good.
All right, you are. They're for Melissa.
No need to rub it in. Oh my god.
Delivery guy from Ned's Flowers.
Ronald! Oh mate, you gotta sign it Ron or something. Sorry. I have been having a go at names, you know. Every episode it feels like. Uh-oh. Killer flowers. Have we got a poison ivy? Probably a stalker, sorry. Damn. Yeah, Buffy was fear itself. How are we dealing with fear this episode? I do wonder. And it's interesting. I mean, again, we kind of have a continuation of the theme from last episode. Almost talking about masculinity. We've had Doyle talking about, that kind of male idolization of Angel, like a certain kind of man. I think you do find that in masculine spaces, especially, we were talking last episode about toxic masculinity. You do get a lot of that too. Look, it can be positive, it can be negative. Then you have the guy, I wish I got flowers, standards for gender. I think even today, the stuff that Doyle was kind of saying about being attracted to another man in a certain way, even though it's tongue-in-cheek, not particularly socially acceptable in certain circles, like I say, even today, especially not back then. Now we've got Ronald and an unhealthy, aggressive obsession that is manifesting itself in a guy, So we'll see if that goes anywhere.
Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. You all right?
Yes.
You can't just...
Name's Angel. I'm in private security.
Excuse me?
It's what I do.
Yeah, lead with that.
You walk around underground garages telling people this because...
Maybe in need of my services.
He's very fortunate he's good looking, isn't he? He gets away with a lot.
I don't think I can afford private security.
It's not about money.
Angel.
I'm not explaining this very well.
Mm-hmm.
If you need anything, just call that number.
You do need to finesse the introductions, mate.
Am I intimidating?
As vampires go, you're pretty cuddly.
Yeah.
Maybe you might want to think about mixing up the black on black look.
Yeah, bit of yellow. Has he hijacked your account?
I changed your PIN number.
What?
So your birthday? That's the first thing a thief would try.
Ronald.
I changed it to 3599.
Was it your birthday?
The day we met.
Oh, God.
You have to stop doing this.
Stop looking after you? Why? I just want you to be happy and healthy, silly. Speaking of, are you losing weight?
Oh, mate, you need like a penis jab. You know what I mean? I feel like some people genuinely do need it as part of like, I don't know, some kind of like social course that we can, just dole out every so often. I'll volunteer, I don't mind. I'm a valued community member, okay? These fists were made for punching. Other fists, do you know what I mean? Little fist bump there. And penises! Sorry, I need to get off the penises, that's fair.
I think it's the tranquilizers. How many did you take in the bathroom at work today? 3?
God.
Why can't you just leave me alone?
How can two people in love leave each other alone?
Oh, mate. There is no answer to this guy, is there?
We had one date.
Oh, no, Ronald.
Did you have a rough day at work? Is that it? Surgery.
Melissa, call the number.
I have to run.
Surgery, yeah.
To get your money, sweetheart.
He's a healthcare professional. That's terrifying.
I'll see you tonight.
Melissa, penis jab. Wind it up. Do you know what I mean?
She's coming in.
I gotta change my shirt.
Have you got anything else, mate?
10 months now.
It's gonna be great, innit?
What's his name?
A white one. Beige.
I had an infected nerve behind my right eye. He operated and saved my sight.
Well, that's nice.
Afterwards, he asked me out.
Unprofessional.
Didn't really want to.
Damn. You felt indebted.
Helped you. You felt obligated.
Yeah.
So we had one drink, one time.
Interesting there. The question, I suppose, of social obligation. We'll see if that goes anywhere. Because I think there's a lot of that goes on nowadays. The rules of society, propriety, you know.
I know it sounds stupid, but I can feel him watching me.
Yeah, I did wonder. I was like, is he a demon of some kind? Or, like, it would almost not be more interesting, but I don't know, more poetic in a way if he was just human.
He knew I took my Xanatab when I was alone in the bathroom. I mean, how did he see that?
Maybe he goes really small. Do you know what I mean? Like a little bug.
Well, we're gonna help you.
And for a reasonable fee.
Yes!
You guys have been really kind listening to me, and
Is that coffee, Melissa? Hey.
it's terrible.
Is it? You need to find a good barista, mate. That's...
No, I mean the coffee.
I am 5 steps ahead. Dear Lord, I'm good.
No, I mean the coffee.
That is a shame, though. For real. Cafes, mate. Baristas. Let's just, you know what I mean? Nail that down.
How did you know I needed help?
I have a friend at the police department.
Hey, that was a swift cover.
A doctor. They examine your body.
Mm-hmm.
They know every inch of you.
Yeah.
Hey, is he invisible?
I still think the bug thing.
A ghost.
Bug.
Or he has a hidden camera. Not everything has to be creepy and supernatural, you know.
True.
He sees her when he's nowhere around.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows that you've been gotta get a bah. Santa Claus, that's all I'm saying. Just putting the word in, do you know what I mean? Jesus! He's absolutely here, isn't he? A neurosurgeon that gets behind it. He absolutely goes small. I'm telling you right now. And it's going to be a whole thing. There's going to be a whole, like, metaphor for how he's just a small, small man. I bet you. I bet. I'm just saying. I'm calling it now. Oh. He's there and he's big. That sucks for me. Almost immediately, dude. Oh. Really? Is he just a really competent neurosurgeon? Like, don't ask me about the science about it, do you know what I mean? I'm just saying. You're telling me no one, no soul in this world has seen a floating eyeball just go past. To be fair, who believes that? Do you know what I mean? If I start talking about seeing a floating eyeball, I get fired. I get thrown out. Or, even worse, I get told to stop drinking so much coffee. Do you know, like, we can't risk our coffee privilege. Okay? It's not how I roll.
Hello, Kate.
Yeah, Kate. She's back.
Angel.
Angel.
It's good to see you.
You too.
He should not be able to just walk in here.
So I would say you're either about to ask me out on a date or you need a favor.
Maybe both. Who am I kidding? People are throwing themselves at him.
Got the word jumble right here. Keep me occupied, sadly, for most of the day. But protecting young women such as yourself, 4, and 3 of them are very much alive.
Doyle.
Yeah, bungee jumping.
Oh, I was meant to do that, but I intentionally don't want it. Hey, you don't seem like the thrill seeker type.
I used to do a lot of things, you know, before.
Oh no, you're too scared.
Just finished with this case, I guarantee you'll be wanting to jump off a bridge again.
But yeah, no, it's affected her whole confidence. Changed her whole life. I mean, God, yeah.
The doctor responded and denied everything. A lot of noise from his lawyers.
Yeah, and we're talking about, you know, he's got status. Through status comes a lot of power. He's also got, through that status, through that job, a lot of money. She's talking, yeah, a lot of noise from his lawyers. We're kind of revisiting, actually, episode 1. Oh, a lot of noise from his lawyers. Is he represented by the same law firm, I wonder, as Vampy Boy from episode 1, 2. But similar themes, you know. This idea of wealth, of power, and social standing. I was talking about social obligation earlier, but it goes deeper.
His lawyers. Wolfram and Hart, you know the name?
Mm-hmm.
They actually filed a restraining order against her.
Wow.
Then you better help her get mad, because that's the only way she'll be able to fight him. This guy could go to jail tomorrow, Angel, and still kill her in her dreams every night. She's still afraid. He took this girl's power away, and nobody can get it back for her but her.
Yeah, I mean, hey, unfortunately, support system would help though too. But I mean, fear, very much a key theme this episode, yeah. Buffy and Angel, the show is once again tying together. Oh.
What are you doing in my office?
Nice. Slippery, slippery.
My wife has a malignant tumor pressing on her ocular cavity. She's gonna die unless someone has the nerve to operate.
You had that ready to go.
What does she mean to you? What? Oh, wife, your girlfriend, what?
She's my fiance.
Wow.
Would you die for her?
Yes.
Please do it now if you like. I mean, hey, don't let us hold you back, man.
What I am willing to do is pay you whatever it takes.
Bold words. For a man with no money.
Please.
Nice. A gentle little softness at the end there. Yeah, appealing to the one thing that he will be able to understand. Love. I mean, to him it's love, it's obsession, right?
Agnostic, orthoped, etc.
It's a tough one, to be fair, mate.
You only have so much time to reattach before it atrophies.
Yuck.
What? Meltzer's work extended that period of time significantly. Plus, he's one of the best at reattaching severed nerves.
Yeah, it's kind of a similar thing to, Vampy Boy from episode 1 of I pay my taxes, I can do whatever I want. And it's like, no, that doesn't work that way. It very much feels as if he's got that certain sense of righteousness to him of, well, I'm doing good, I'm furthering the field, I'm helping people, I get to do what I want. Or perhaps he's just got a complex, you know, I am great, I am amazing, I am helping all of these people. Perhaps, you know, he seems like a very intelligent person in his field, or supernatural, we don't know. And as a result of that, in his own mind, he's put himself on this pedestal to the point that he thinks he is entitled. And we, you know, dealing with a lot of entitlement last episode too, feels entitled to anything he wants, anyone he wants. And unfortunately, it seems as if he's a manipulator too, right? He kind of manipulated his status and that sort of vulnerable situation Melissa was in to manipulate the social obligation to get something from her. I think he is intelligent and he knows what he's doing. But, I mean, maybe he has fooled himself a little bit. I don't know. I don't think you can really help him right at this point. But yeah, people like him are so dangerous and put the level of power that he has in his hands that society has allowed him to get as a result of his station, his power, his money. He can do anything.
I don't like the way he treats women.
Let's go.
I'll keep your name out of it, but just between us, what is the real dish on this guy?
Nice. Come on.
He's not very generous. He doesn't share his techniques with the medical community at large.
Okay.
Apparently he can do anything with a knife. Oh, you so don't want this guy fixated on you.
It seems as if, though, perhaps some of it is supernatural. He can't share it because no one will believe him, maybe. That's perhaps being a little generous.
It's not about Melissa, it's about rage. This guy's too messed up to deal with a real woman and he can't. He creates a fantasy about a girl he barely knows, but eventually even she fails him. And he has to hurt her because when he looks at her, all he sees is how useless he is, how damaged.
What a fun date you must have been back.
Hey, do you know what? I appreciate Angel taking my job from me here. That's nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. More maturity from you than I saw in Buffy, which is tick from me.
I hope you'll have the nerve to believe. Thanks for having the nerve to believe. Did you steal this book?
You said in your email that...
Oh, hello. What's this about?
I don't think he's like other people.
No, he's not.
Fear.
That the mind is the single most powerful force in the universe. 80% of the brain still untapped.
Oh, that old little...
That's when I stopped teaching, because I began to believe.
And it scared you. Isn't that whole, we're only using a small percentage of our brain at one time, like a myth? I'm pretty sure, because I got curious about it, but it's only that I think we use a certain percentage of our brain at a certain time for different things, for a specific thing, and then if you do something else, you use a different part of your brain. Do you know what I mean? It's more that you don't use it all at once, but it doesn't mean you don't use it. I don't know, chime down in the comments. I'm pretty sure, is this him? Is he just outside? Dude. I was like, is he either stalking or weeing? And I don't like that those are the two things on the docket, do you know what I mean? Damn, you just missed him, dude. Oh no, he's there. Oh my god, am I blind? Or is he just like extremely stealthy?
Put your hands up. I was just out for a walk.
I think I'm blind, ironically. Ronnie, help me! Oh, come on. Really? Oh, mate, you could be doing so much with this power and you choose this. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sorry. We got a report of someone...
Ask him what he's doing here. God. No. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Of course an incel gets some kind of superpower. Because his, like, tiny mind does this. You could be doing so many cool things. Man. Yeah.
Did someone break in, or are you just having a bad dream?
Yeah, what do you say? He's not finding him, right? She's gonna look crazy. Yeah. I do like that the episode seems to be having a bit of a focus on her and her kind of the effects of this as opposed to the actual thing.
If you want to start from the beginning and just tell me what...
Oh, come on. Mate, how are they this strong? There's no wrist. He's all fingers.
He killed him.
Well, to be fair, the cop isn't dead yet. Can we... Man. My penis jabbing ain't gonna work, is it? Because you can detach it. Can we detach it and confiscate it? I jest, but please.
It's over now.
Is it better coffee?
How's she doing? Numb.
I thought you said gnome. I was like, no, she's not.
He's killing though.
Anybody that stands between him and his obsession.
It's interesting as well, isn't it? I mean, the key theme here is fear. Obviously, you know, Melissa's more vocally, but I think fear from the Doctor too. I mean, that's where it arises, you know. And I was talking in the Buffy episode about how, and I think I made it the title, about how fear actually is usually, and can be, usually the root cause of a lot of conflict, you know. A lot of anger can be traced back to fear. If the person feels it, it can arise in a lot of conflict. I mean, we saw that in the Buffy episode between Willow and Buffy, and how they clashed in the, you know, the hierarchy of who's the leader, who's not, who's the sidekick, all that stuff. But I think we're seeing it here too. I think it's everything that, you know, Angel was kind of talking about, but also this fear of the Doctor. He's kind of running away from his own humanity, his own feelings, right? He feels this desire, this loneliness, you know, desire for companionship, for love, loneliness as a result of it. He is how he is, perhaps doesn't quite know how to express it, or doesn't have the level of care, of empathy, of kindness to actually have somebody honestly engage with him in any kind of act of true love. It seems like how he is repels people. Lots of stuff to work on. It is what it is, but point being, what that causes is, like I say, loneliness. It causes this fear of not ever having somebody, of the person that you love, and in this case it's obsession, manifesting itself in such a way that it's driving you towards more dangerous behavior. I think fear is at the core of that. Fear of being alone, fear of never being loved, fear of, you know, he has all of this stuff. He has station, he has money, he has power, but not in perhaps the way that he'd want it. But he doesn't particularly have the power that would actually mean anything, you know. He doesn't have power over himself. He doesn't have the faculties to be dealing with any of this stuff in himself either. And what arises from that conflict, harm, violence.
Whoa. I was just trying to fix your collar.
I'm tired of crying and being afraid.
He's the weak one. You're the strong one.
Nice. Yeah.
To Melissa, he knows what he's talking about. He has stocked plenty of
Okay. Yeah, I mean.
steel boxes. Why would you want... for packing up people parts?
What about fire? We tried fire.
What if he comes apart on you?
It's gonna stay that way.
Nice. Let's get him.
What's a big box?
Yeah, it's interesting. Sorry, I will talk about the social obligation thing actually, because I don't think it necessarily is going to come back into it, but I think it's really interesting to talk about. I think there are so many kind of different ways that I think we do feel as if we owe people, and it results in kind of unhealthy relationships like this. Unfortunately, it means I think as well, like, good people, when that happens, will feel obligated and will feel indebted and will feel like they need to give someone something as a result of it, you know. And it's interesting, I see the sort of thing now, because I think kind of combating that kind of thinking is the phrase almost, and the intent inherent in you don't owe anyone anything. And I've seen that kind of phrase be kind of twisted, distorted in meaning, and people pushing back against that kind of phrase, because to me that kind of phrase is pretty valid, and I think it's good. I think that phrase, at least to me, goes towards your own security, your own comfort, your own happiness, and protects you from situations like this, or even more innocent examples too, that might make you feel a certain way, and most importantly, make you feel like you need to do something you don't want to do. And I think, the idea of you don't owe anyone anything kind of keeps your peace, your happiness intact, while also validating it. I think that's the most important thing, because I think that inner feeling of, oh, I feel like I do owe them something, and that kind of guilt can kind of eat you up. And like I say, so sorry, that kind of phrase does get a little bit of pushback nowadays, because I think people misinterpret it of, well, you do owe people something, and they kind of start talking about community, and we owe other people our empathy and care, and if somebody does an act of kindness towards you, you owe them the same kind of a thing. And it's like, we do like to argue amongst ourselves about these sorts of things, don't we? Because I feel like that kind of phrase of you don't owe anyone anything is very much apart from the community thing. I don't think it's really verging on that kind of conversation. They're two separate conversations, right? And I think inherent in that phrase is just protecting yourself, your peace, from those who you feel like you might owe something to, because of all of these social rules that we have created that make us act certain ways. And it's funny, I'm talking about this, and I think there is a lot of security and self-assurance in that idea. Once you actually embrace that sort of idea of like, I don't owe anyone my time, I don't owe anyone any money, I don't owe anyone anything. You're only really able to do that, I feel like, if you have kind of a basis of security of like, I am enough. And it means that at that point you're at a foundation of security that you can then go forward out into community, into society, and you can offer that kind of thing that people are talking about, that people I feel like sometimes talk about in a negative tint towards that kind of phrase. And you're in a much better place to be able to help people, to offer more of yourself, more goodwill voluntarily, just because you want to, not because you feel like you owe someone something. One I feel like takes care of the other. And just because I think it's important that you remember that you don't owe anyone anything doesn't mean that you're never actually going to show any empathy or kindness or community to your fellow human. It is just assuring that you are strengthening your person, defending your person from behaviors like this, or situations that might drain you, that mean that in the long term you're less of a human almost, because you can't function in the way that you need to take care of your happiness. Again, it kind of, everything that I'm talking about comes back to this kind of grander conversation of mental health. And we live in the physical world, yes, but I think it's half and half. We live in the emotional world too, and I think that's just as important as this physical world that we live in, and so often we don't take care of one while the other is first and foremost in our minds the most important thing. And I think when you ignore one for the other, you are sacrificing part of yourself, which means that you are less equipped to deal with things in the physical world, right? That's what I'm talking about when I talk about it. And I know that, in everything that I've just talked about, it is kind of abstract, and I haven't really given a ton of examples. I hope people kind of know what I'm talking about though, and the kind of sense that I'm talking about. I've been a little bit more vague about it because I feel like as individual humans, we can kind of put our own spin and our own experience on that kind of logic to it, and is the focus of this episode, which is why I'm talking about it, because if Melissa had that, and I'm not trying to blame her for it, I think this stuff that I'm talking about is hard, and requires a lot of positive reinforcement and a lot of practice. You don't just have this, you have to kind of learn it and practice it, and bless her, Melissa. I mean, that's what we're talking about. That's what, the episode's kind of talking about. Kate's kind of talking about as well. Like, she's got to learn. The only person that can kind of deal with this is her, this fear, and the only kind of way to do that is to reinforce yourself, to kind of move forward and create a future, an identity in yourself that makes this kind of thing not able to happen in the way that it happened this time again in the future, and also ensures her, protects her from the ills that kind of come with the presence of him, even if he's locked up or whatever it might be. And so it's why, you can trace it all back to this kind of idea of social obligation. What it drives us too, what it means, and remembering actually that you're allowed to say no. And there's a lot of power that can come with that. And that does, I feel like, my opinion, facilitate a better life, I think, for you in yourself. Oh God.
That's your heart slowing down as the paralytic takes effect. Eventually, it'll stop altogether.
He is a vampire, so we're good, yeah?
Audacity. To think that you could take her from me?
Okay.
She would have made a beautiful bride.
My God. Yeah, and he's so fragile too, isn't he? It's kind of hard to tell with him a little bit, you know. I'm talking about, you know, all this stuff, fear affecting him, and I think it is, but also he does just seem a colder person in general. You know, at a foundational level, and you know, sometimes you do get that too. And there's not necessarily anything to be explained other than he's just adjusted really poorly. Maybe that started as a kid, who knows? I know very little about him, and like, look, I can, you know, you can attach this to gender if you want. I think it kind of supersedes that in a certain way. Like I say, I think the focus is fear. Can we talk about patterns and how this kind of thing affects men in a bigger way than it does women? Yeah. I think that's kind of obvious though, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. And I kind of did the work on that last episode, so I'm not going to touch on it so much this episode.
What's the point? No, I mean of ever going out with anyone.
You've got to.
People need people.
Yeah, I mean, it's like having a Ferrari and never driving it because you're too scared of scratching it. If you start thinking that way, I mean, you know, talking about Buffy, it's what she was dealing with too. What Cordy just said. I'm just going to close myself off. I'm never going to, do you know what I mean? And you can't do that. You can't. I get it. I get the instinct to want to do it, to protect yourself, to avoid all of this danger and fear. But you do. You have to conquer that fear, because otherwise you don't live. And it is hard, and you might get hurt. But you kind of got to accept that, because if you don't ever really experience anything good again. Not truly. Or at least you're cutting it off, right? You're cutting off the idea of true love, actual love, finding somebody, finding happiness, joy like you've never had before, because you're too scared to go out and try and find it. And it is important that we keep trying.
She hooks up with the doctor. That should be a good thing. His hands and feet come off and he's not even in the circus.
Not every relationship leads to disaster.
Okay, cool. Guys, think fast. Tell you what, those weapon wars are pretty handy, eh? Yeah, slightly horror-esque, isn't it, this episode? Really, we're not going to counter that. That's a big dark hole, mate. No, why would you put your face? Why is that for the first thing that you put? Cool. I mean, so he thinks Angel's dead, but his heart doesn't actually beat, does it? So he's probably going to come in, you'd argue.
What are you?
More than meets the eye.
Mate, there are no Transformers here, stop it.
You disappoint me, Melissa.
You gotta fight back, Melissa.
I know.
No.
I think
Rise up.
you disappoint yourself.
Yeah.
You gave up on being loved a long time ago.
This is what I mean.
Creep who gets off on pain.
Yeah.
You turned yourself into a freak, Ronald.
Yeah, nice.
I am done being afraid of you. You can cut me,
Hell yeah.
you can kill me. It still won't change what you are.
There we go, security.
She was right.
Yeah.
Inefficiently.
Oh, no. Come on. This is a weird fight. I don't like it. Like, if his teeth come flying towards me, like, it can hurt me all it wants. It just grosses me out.
We could have been so happy.
Amazing. Yeah, cool episode. Nice that she had that moment of security, of confidence, of strength. It's a shame she has to do that in a certain way because of what's happening, but it's always handy to be that way too.
He's in 12 steel boxes buried in 20 cubic feet of concrete in LA's newest subway stop.
Amazing.
Can I offer you some coffee?
Coffee? Oh, no.
Coffee! What?
I can only stay a minute.
That is enough time for a lot of coffee, mate. You just got, you know what I mean? Chug it. Come on.
There's
some flu going around.
A bill?
Bill who?
I didn't do it for the money.
Oh, please. You earned it.
Yes, and it's funny that I'm talking about security in oneself. I understand why Angel has this thing about money. It is awkward, and it does feel bad when you are helping these people that perhaps can't pay you. You don't want to then ask for it. It does feel, even if it's not, it does feel a little leechy. at the same time, her line there, you earned it, he did, and he is, you know, and he needs to feel that kind of security in himself to be able to say and actually feel, I earned it, I did help, and I also, you know, have needs. I need to pay my rent and whatever. Accordion Doyle, they need to eat. It's that social obligation, that awkwardness that is causing him not to ask for it. I'm so glad that I did talk about social obligation. Yes, because of course, that's what that is. You know, that kind of almost, that embarrassing kind of moment at the end there. I'd feel the same way, but he has to get over that. And I think the way to do that is, like I say, to feel rightfully like he has earned it. And that is something that he needs to work on in himself as a person, and is tied to, I think, his sense of value, which we know is low. We know that his sense of value in himself is close to zero, and it shouldn't be. I was talking last episode about he is the hero. He is helping people. He's got that in him. He is that person. There is just a journey that needs to be kind of had to get him to the place where he believes it himself. Obviously, at this point, he doesn't believe that, but that is causing him to not have the confidence, not have the self-value and the security in himself to be able to ask for money. And that is what we're seeing here. And her line is so beautiful because it is highlighting that. You've earned it. You deserve it. Learn to feel that in yourself so that you feel like you are worthy of being paid for your services. And I think, like I say, like I've talked about in Melissa and Angel, the ability to actually not bow to that social obligation comes from inner strength and believing that you have value and that you're allowed to go against that social obligation. You know what I mean? It's a little step, but it's good. She made the leap, I think, in at the end of this episode, and he's, you know, a little baby step towards it.
Hope I never see you again.
Fair.
Oh, that didn't go so badly.
Yeah.
Let's march down to the bank.
You guys go on. I think I'll stay here and not burst into flames.
Well, we need them now. Have a vision. We need the clients. Have a vision.
That money's...
Well done, mate. Yeah. A little bit of life. I fall to pieces. Yeah, there we go. Do you know what? I think I've said everything that I kind of want to say. I think it's a really nice episode when it comes to, yeah, this idea of value in oneself. The idea of realizing that you don't owe anyone anything. And I think, yeah, like I say, that sort of thinking leads to a foundation of value, a foundation of strength that allows you to go out into the world, into society, and be the best member of your community that you possibly can be. Saying you don't owe anyone anything doesn't mean that you don't owe anyone kindness or being polite to people to an extent, right? Obviously, examples like Melissa and the doctor, oh, it's polite, say yes and just go for a drink, what's the harm? No, not that kind of polite. You know what I'm talking about. I feel like people know the distinction of what I'm talking about. I hope so. But yeah, really cool, really cool. And I think all going towards this kind of season overarching story that I think is Angel's inner value, building that up bit by bit. And I think at the end there, actually, that was a small step, but a significant one. So yeah. I fall to pieces. Episode 4. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, if you're not subscribed already, down below, please do consider doing that. If you liked the video, please do consider clicking on that like button as well. It's a free way to help me out, help the channel out, get it around the algorithm, all that stuff. Hey, if you're feeling particularly generous, leave a comment. Compliment my hair, something like that. I don't know. As always, thank you so much to my members, to my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. There is a link down in the description for early access to all of my videos. The next Angel will probably down there, next Buffy as well. My gaming channel is also down there. I'm still going on Alien Isolation at the moment. But that is it for Slayer Saturdays this week. Next week will be Buffy. So yeah, stick around to make sure you catch that. But with that said, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.